Welcome back to the Grand Solar Minimum channel. Today is Friday, October 11th, 2019. Our solar wind speeds are sitting at an even 500.1 kilometers per second with a density of 2.4. So that is the solar wind that we were expecting for the past several days. It is beginning to calm down a little bit, but again, this is now the first day of this solar wind speeds that we were supposed to get that we're going to increase for the 11th. I do expect it to be short-lived. We have no sunspots to report once again now. That makes 8 days in a row without sunspots, a total of 207 for 2019. Let's take a quick look too at our sun a little bit closer. Guys, if you could see here, let me go ahead and get this ready, see if I can pull it out for it. No, it doesn't look like it. All right, so what I wanted to show you really quick, if you look here in the middle of the sun right here, we have an earth-facing coronal hole that is turning away now. Forecasters are now saying we should see solar wind from that particular coronal hole somewhere on the October 13th through the 14th. Right now, the TCI continues to creep down by just a little. Yesterday, we reported at 4.36. It's down to 4.35. KP indices are also down from yesterday. We had a max of 4 and a current reading of 4 when we went on the air yesterday. Today, it's calmed down as well. We're looking at KP indices at 2 with a 24-hour max at 3. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at our current weather right now, and lots to talk about with that. Oops, hang on a second. So we have a new, well, actually not a new, but a blizzard warning like we expected. And today is going to be the worst of the storm that we know of. And I kind of showed us that earlier in the week as well. So if I can get this to work, bear with me, folks. There we go. I don't know what was so difficult about that. All right, so let's take a look now, shall we? Put this in motion for you. So what we're looking at today is a blizzard warning for areas like Devil's Lake. Right now, it doesn't look like a blizzard conditions, but this storm has only, let me zoom this out too, just to give you an idea how big this thing is. We'll put it in motion as well. So this huge low pressure system is winding up right now as we speak. The worst of the storm has begun. The winds will increase. Possible 60 mile per hour gusts are possible with this. Right now, we are looking at still Devil's Lake is going to be the winner as far as heavy precipitation, which we're looking at 18 to 24 inches at Devil's Lake. And that is where we're going to see the blizzard-like conditions. Also, the snow swath that we've seen for accumulations, for decent size accumulations, has increased. And let me go ahead and point out what I'm talking about. This area right here in western Minnesota, we should be getting about 5 to 8 up to a foot of snow in this area, okay, as this system continues to wind and move towards the east. This area right here, what I got with my arrow, that corner in the northeastern part of North Dakota is where we are going to see the worst conditions from this storm. Up to 24 inches of snow still to fall today, not counting what we've already had. A few inches have already fallen in this area from light accumulations. Today, we see things really deteriorate as far as travel conditions and other complications that come with these blizzards. And snowfall accumulation is going to be up there. Again, if we look at the watch box here for the United States, lots of freeze warnings today. A lot of grow seasons will be over. This area right here indicated as the red, that's the blizzard. This is the winter storm warning. And we have winter weather advisories here in the southern parts of North Dakota and South Dakota. But look at the swath of the freeze watches that we're going to have tonight. And even the darker is freeze warning. The light blue is the watch. So Oklahoma, folks are definitely watching things tonight. Parts of Illinois, most of Wisconsin, Iowa, Missouri, Kansas, most of Nebraska, parts of Colorado. Grow season is coming to an end, unfortunately, folks, with these kind of weather conditions. Let's take a look at our temperatures. These are low temperature forecasts for today. As you see, much of the country is going to be pretty darn cold. The sweet spot right now is the deep south, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Florida, and the far south parts of Texas. But really, there's a very narrow window of decent fall weather. Even in the northeast, it's starting to get a little chilly. So basically, the Ohio and Tennessee Valley and parts of the south, that's where you want to be as far as overnight temperatures. And what are we looking at as far as maximum temperatures? Well, it doesn't get much better in the northern plains, staying in the 20s and 30s, some parts in the teens and the higher elevations. Meanwhile, folks in Texas, you guys are enjoying this. Temperatures are going to be in the 50s and 60s for daytime highs for everybody in Texas, except for very southern tip of Texas in the south. Dallas is around 56 today, but most of the country very, very comfortable. The northeast, again, probably the sweet spot as far as perfect weather right now. The deep south trying to have a little bit of Indian summer, but temperatures only reaching the low 80s in certain spots. So again, nothing to be really concerned about. This is typical October weather, but a very powerful cold front is moving through right now. This is the outlook for today, and it is also calling for heavy snow in North Dakota, near Minnesota, mixed precipitation as well in eastern Minnesota, and then a chance for thunderstorms and showers. And actually, let's go back to the full-size radar. Right now, we are seeing those thunderstorms and showers. Nothing severe right now. No tornado watches or warnings or anything like that. But if you live in St. Louis, Jefferson City, Springfield, Missouri, Fort Smith, you've all experienced thunderstorms. Indianapolis, Dayton, Ohio, Fort Wayne, Cincinnati, Frankfort, Evansville, Paducah. You guys should be experiencing thunderstorms here within the next couple of hours as we speak. Actually, as we put the radar in motion, we see those areas that I just mentioned are now being affected by showers and thunderstorms. These will continue to stream off to the northeast and east, as rain will fall most of the day in parts of these states that I just mentioned. But the big story today is the blizzard that is happening in North Dakota and parts of Minnesota as well, very, very western part. Here's a look at tomorrow's outlook. Still snow falling in North Dakota and parts of western Minnesota as this snowstorm finally starts to wind down. Rain moving into the northeast. Florida expecting thunderstorms and showers. And then by Sunday into Monday, we will see mixed precipitation and quiet down considerably across the United States. Showers and thunderstorms possible in the south. So this weekend is going to be an active one for folks who live in the northern plains and through the Midwest. Very minor activity in the northeast. Again, here's a look at all the watches and warnings that we have. And here is some good news. Take a look over here in the corner, folks. Look at California. Fire danger has gone down considerably. Yesterday, this area all was in the red. Down here is still fire danger, but up here, the fire danger is going away. And this is the area that mostly the power is out. Now down here, where the fire danger is still pretty relevant, we did have an unfortunate fire breakout yesterday. A mobile home park was destroyed in Southern California. Numerous mobile homes were destroyed Thursday in Calamisa, California by a wildfire. Electricity shutoffs continued Thursday for hundreds of thousands of Northern Californians. Now, the cost of the outages could top over $1 billion. That makes sense. I mean, people losing time at work, businesses not open. But unfortunately, this is the pictures that we have this morning after last night's fire, or yesterday's fire, I should say. As you can see, some structures are completely burnt down to the ground. This is also Southern California. This is not in the area where the power was shut off. This fire was actually started by a garbage truck that accidentally caught fire, some trash inside that. and it didn't take much time for it to spread. But what I wanted to say was that these folks didn't have their power shut off, and it was the southern part, which right now, like I said, you're looking at wind fire danger still in that region today that had this fire yesterday. So about 750,000 customers across the state are without power. That's 34 counties. PG&E was able to restore the electricity early Thursday to about 125,000 across the state, including 74,000 in Humboldt County. So there was a lot of scare out there, folks, about how this power could be cut off and not come back on for a week or so, this and that. Very encouraging to see that 125,000 customers already have power back. So this number hopefully continues to grow as far as restoring power over the next several days. But it just goes to show you, folks, that other counties took precautions, shut off the main grid, shut power down to everybody, and an area that didn't have power shut off still had a wildfire, but it had nothing to do with the electrical grid system or anything like that. This was just a freak accident that just got out of control. So the area that has the most fire warnings today, unfortunately yesterday, suffered some damaging fires. It expanded an estimated 500 acres. I was told by Lee Wheelbarger it was more closer to 1,000 acres that were burning at this time. But for the most part, Thursday, they have it 80% contained. So we will continue to watch that. Hopefully that shuts down quickly. Again, a lot of people are scared right now in California. This is very, very, very unique situation where power was intentionally cut off to avoid. But people are actually comparing this to the Y2K. They just don't know when the power is coming back on, or the gas, or when are we going to see some normalcy back into our communities with the businesses and schools and all that. So very, very troubling times here in California. Hopefully we can get through this in the next couple of days. Power starts to become restored. Actually, most of the fire danger in the areas that were originally shut off is over at this time. So we'll keep our eyes on that. All right, that's going to do it for me this morning, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Actually, wait a minute. Let's show you this real quick. A lot of you might have been concerned about possible nor'easter this weekend. I reported on that. We're not really looking at anything major. This is moving through Friday today. That system is meandering right now off of the northeast coast, but bringing light showers to the area. Still possible for some minor coastal flooding and some high winds possible, but nothing to be of concern as far as any kind of life-threatening situation here. And this massive low-pressure system will finally wind up and move out of the area by Monday into Tuesday, as rain will come into the northeast from this system. More snow on the way from Canada through BC to Manitoba into North Dakota by Tuesday, the very same area that's going through a blizzard warning right now. Devil's Lake will see more snow showers and possible accumulation on Tuesday, but very, very, very minor. You guys see here a low pressure system across the northern Great Lakes. The deep south also looking at chances for thunderstorms through Wednesday of next week. And then we have a disturbance in the Gulf of Mexico, bringing lots of rain from the tropics. Right now at this time, it is not considered to be a hurricane or anything like that, just a heavy tropical disturbance that should bring some rain to the southern states, looking like by late weekend, next weekend, into early Monday, October 21st. But as you guys see, once this thing makes landfall in Mississippi and Alabama, it's almost non-existent. Now, that's right, another storm in the northern plains. We are expecting this one next weekend, starting up on Saturday. Rain and snow showers mixing in through Idaho, Wyoming, southern parts of Montana, and boy, does Wyoming get the brunt of this time. As this low pressure system continues to develop, parts of South Dakota will also get heavy snow. So this could be South Dakota's chance to get their blizzard conditions. As you look at this low pressure system, guys, now again, this is still on the 21st. This is 10 days out. But those lines are nice and tight. So you got to believe that we might have blizzard-like conditions. Now, this storm isn't showing the possible strength of snow that the last two we've had. But nevertheless, there is a threat and for at least 24-hour period, we'll see lots of snowfall in South Dakota, the eastern part, or western part, that is. In front of that, massive amounts of rain. GFS is really forecasted heavy rain for the Midwest moving into the Northeast. Look at the size of this system. And it's bringing in moisture too. If you guys notice, this system is bringing in moisture. It's basically being fed right here. On top of the heavy rain that we're already going to have. More heavy rain expected to Louisiana and Alabama, Mississippi, again by the 22nd. So just several days after that weak system plows through the Gulf. And then look at this massive cold front after this. By the 24th of October, we will see some significantly cool temperatures. Snow showers expected for the New York area into the Northeast by the 25th. Very cold air behind that. And by the time we get to the end of the month, believe it or not, I mean, I've said this before, but it's indicating that we might have a quiet end of the month. Other than a minor snow clipper there in the Nebraska, Wyoming, and South Dakota area at the end of the month. The top half of the country looks to be cold, and let's go ahead and verify that. Yeah, so there is your end of the month forecast right there. Your date, there's your nighttime lows for Saturday, October 26th. So the top half of the country definitely cooling down big time. The South even getting into the 40s and 30s. But again, this is about right for the end of October. So nothing to really freak out about other than that colder air is moving into the United States. And that will continue to happen. It looks like A, our hurricanes are over with. B, I don't think we're going to be talking about hot weather anymore in the South. So, all right, with that being said, that's going to do it for me this morning, guys. Thank you for tuning in. We will have a live broadcast tonight at 9 p.m. Again, 9 p.m. Eastern time for all of your Grand Solar Minimum news updates. Until then, guys, have a great day, and we will talk soon.
Do you like this show? Give us a thumbs up. Want to support us more? Share to your favorite social media platform. Buy a t-shirt or become a Patreon. All links are in the description.